Welcome to a new video of Algebra Wonder. This video will talk about absolute value inequalities. So what is absolute value inequality? This is actually an algebraic inequality that includes the variable inside the absolute value operation. So as you can see here, we have a variable inside the absolute value. So we call those absolute value inequality. Okay, so how can we interpret them? So if I have absolute value of x is greater than 4, what does that mean? That means the distance, because remember, absolute value give you the distance. The distance between 0 and a number which I do not know is greater than 4 in either direction. Okay, so if you look at the number line, okay, I'm looking for a number greater than 4 from 0. So it's not less, it's greater. So any number to the right of the 4 will be greater than 4. So I can write this area as an equality. X can be any number greater than 4. If you try 5, yeah, as absolute value of 5 is greater than 4, is 5. That's true. But what about the other direction from the 0? So here is the, remember, my distance has to be greater than 4. Greater than 4. So greater than 4, it's here. Because the distance from 0 to negative 6, for example, is 6 steps, okay? So it has to be an area here. But this area is left of the negative 4. So how we write an inequality for that? We say x is less than negative 4. Okay? So don't get confused with this. Look at this. With the positive, it's greater than 4. But with the negative, we switch the inequality sign. Be careful of that. Why? Because it's absolute value. Okay, so now if you look at the number, if I choose a number here, negative 2, is absolute value of negative 2 greater than 4? Nope, absolute value of negative 2 is 2, is not greater than 4. So this area here is not a solution. My solution is x can be any number greater than 4, because this is actually greater than 4 for the distance greater than 4 from 0. And also any number here, x is less than negative 4, is also going to have a distance that is greater than 4 from the 0. Okay, let's try another one. Here we go. Absolute value of x minus 2 less than 4. So now how can we interpret that? So this one is the distance between 2 and the number x is less than 4 in either direction. So let's see how can we do that. Here we go. I'm starting at what this time? Not 0. I'm starting at 2. Okay, my distance had to be what? Less than 4. So here we go, 4 unit from the 2 to the right. So if I have less than 4, so here we go, can be 1 unit to the right or 2 units to the right and so on. So here we go. So it has to be less than 6. So the distance can be less than 4 from 2. Now, what about the other? So this is the first piece. With x can be a number that's less than 6. And if you actually take any of those numbers and substitute here, it gives you that, right? So if you choose 4, 4 minus 2 is 2. Absolute value of 2 is 2, which is less than 4, so I'm right. Okay. Now, what about the other direction? So remember, my distance has to be what? Less than 4. Less than 4 step. So here we go, this direction then. Okay. And then now, if I want to write inequality for that, so is x greater than negative 2 or less than negative 2? Yep, it is greater than negative 2. Okay. So my answer can be any number here between negative 2 and 6, okay, can make this inequality true. If you choose any number outside, okay, it's not going to make this inequality true. Okay, let's see how can we solve absolute value inequality. So I have up here the same inequality we just answered, which is absolute value of x minus 2 less than 4. So how can we do this abstract without drawing the number line? So here we go. I have a quantity. Absolute value of a quantity has a less than 4. So this quantity can be less than 4. Or also, this quantity can be greater than negative 4. Like what? Like negative 3. So absolute value of negative 3 is 3. Yep. Which is less than 4. So I'm right. And then now we just solve this inequality. So again, I'm isolating the x. So I have negative 2. So I'm going to do the inverse property of addition by adding the 2. So negative 2 and positive 2. They're opposite numbers. They give you 0. And here we go. We get x less than 4 plus 2, which is 6. Okay, or we go ahead and solve the other inequality. So again, this is minus 2, so I'm doing the inverse of property of addition. If this is negative, I'm going to add the 2, because negative 2 and 2 is opposite number, so give you 0. And then again, if I add 2 on this side, I have to add 2 on the other side. So negative 4 plus 2, which is negative 2. So as exactly what we did from little bit. So x is less than 6, any number less than 6, and x is greater than negative 2. Okay, and greater than negative 2, any number here in between negative 2 and 6 will make this inequality true. If you choose a number up here or a number up here, it's not going to make this inequality true. It cannot be a solution. So if you try negative 10, so negative 10 minus 2 is negative 12. Absolute value of negative 12 is 12. 12 is not less than 4. So negative 10 cannot be a solution. So I think I'm right. And now let's go to the second piece. So now our question for Algebra Wonder: is there a possible value or values for the x that make this absolute value inequality true? The first one, absolute value of x plus 1 less than negative 4. So is there such x will make this true? Is there any solution for that? The second one, negative 2 absolute value of x plus 1 less than negative 4. So again, is there such a value for x that will make this inequality true? Okay, go ahead and think about it, solve them, share your thinking with your friend, your family, and enjoy the math. Thank you.